Don't lie.
Is it hair you're not happy with, or?
No, it's the far of a mustache. Yeah, totally going Super Troopers. I need a liter of cola right now.
Jared, you've gotten to stay busy this year, man. I mean, fourth fight, I think, this year. Has that been a blessing for you, or has it been kind of a challenge to, stay in camp and be this active?
Madam, prostitution is the oldest profession, and madam, I'm a professional.
We're just going quotes all day. I know you can't be necessarily satisfied with the results of everything, this year, but I guess how have you dealt with that? Have you been comfortable with your efforts or frustrated? Like, what's it been like for you behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, a lot of crying, sadness, hugging my body pillow. And to the point where I switched camps at a new camp, and then I train with them. I go home, I cry, sadness, I hug my body pillow again, just because they beat me up all the time.
It's nice that you're being so open about it, though. It's okay for a big heavyweight UFC fighter to cry, right? That's okay.
No, it's shameful. Like,
talk about the camp switch. I mean, what inspired you? Was it just like, man, I don't feel like I'm getting the results I need, or what did inspire the camp switch?
There was a multitude of different reasons, from personal to just I needed different training partners. And honestly, at the end of the day, between my business of owning a gym and just where I was training, I grew to detest the sport. I hated everything about it. I hated watching certain people train, and they're like, why am I not getting the results? And I kind of said to myself, I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'm not getting the results. So instead of following, their footsteps, I'm like, I need to make a change for myself. And now I'm at a place, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the camps where I'm at now, but I'm at Kings now, and I love every moment there, and I get beat up regularly. I learn a lot, and sometimes it's not these big things, it's just some minute, small things I'm learning from Rafael. The dude is brilliant. And all the people that he has there, brilliant. And honestly, all the fighters that he's raising are just intelligent people. I have nothing bad to say about Kings and the people there.
So it's interesting to hear you say that you'd grown to detest the sport. I mean, were you kind of battling that, like, during your last training camps and your last fights? Like, here you're at the highest level of the sport, but you're not actually loving it or passionate about it?
Honestly, I think what really pissed me off was like people, like especially the business side of it, just seeing how fucking stupid people are. Because, I could throw a punch means I'm a fighter. No, it fucking doesn't. Like seriously, the average fight lasts 7 seconds. The reason why is most people can't handle a fucking punch to the face. But then talk all this shit about, how easy it is to get in the UFC. It's like, no, bitch. Like, you look at a lot of these people's, some of their 10 years are like 10, 15 years before they even make it to the UFC. I mean, my boy, Action Man, Chris, fucking was fighting 15 years or some shit like that before he got his debut in the UFC. And I love Chris. He's been fucking killing it. But the fact that, a lot of people act like, I could just do this, or I don't want to blame Jake Paul, but the fact that Jake Paul has money, he's able to train, a lot of these fucking kids and people are like, my kid's going to be the next Jake Paul. No, he's fucking not. He's not funny. He doesn't do YouTube well enough, and he doesn't have millions of dollars to spend on training, and you expect him to be the next fucking... I got all this shit from, like, working and then seeing people train, like, I partied all night. I fucking did this all night. I'm too tired to train. And it's like, why are you surprised about the fucking results? I was surrounded by all these fucking people that made me just really fucking hate the sport. And I'm just like, why the fuck are you here? And the one piece that actually kept me from losing my fucking mind was the camp. I love fighting. I love punching people in the face. I love being punched in the face. Despite what anyone says, we're all sadomasochists here. We all love the punches. We all love, it's the adrenaline that makes us feel alive. So that was the biggest thing keeping me on. But honestly, the outside world and like the day-to-day things really made me grow to detest the sport, as you can tell.
With the change in camp now, has some of that come back? Because you liked the part about being in camp, right? But it was just the business side of it or dealing with it?
The business side and just seeing other people. Like, I watch people, like, sometimes it's like a lot of, like it sucks because you watch a lot of the beginner pros. It sucks because you want to tell them, fuck your job, focus on training. And in reality, that's kind of what you have to do. But some have wives, some have kids, some have both, and you can't just sacrifice your family. You can't sacrifice your livelihood just because you want to chase your dream. You have to sacrifice something. And for some people, it's sleep. Some people is their sanity. Like, people sacrifice things. And then I watch people that will not make a sacrifice and just be confused on why they're not where they should be. I know I've trained with people that belong here, but they refuse to make that sacrifice and baffled why they're not. And I'm just like, you didn't make the sacrifices. When I tell people I've been homeless for this fucking sport, I remember my third fight. I asked the promoter, I'm like, can you set me up with a hotel room just so I could have a place to sleep going into this fight? Because I was sleeping in my car. I was basically, God, I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. I was working at a bar, and because of both of the gyms I trained at, both had showers, so I would go to the bar, shower, and stuff like that, and basically hook up with women and be like, oh, you want to spend the night? Yes, I do. I was prostituting myself out for a bed.
That's great.
Hey, it was a good night's sleep for both of us.
Well, talk about where you are now, because you said coming in, hey, this is the last fight on the deal, right? You said it like I'm fighting to stay in the promotion right now. Is that like a heavy burden, or do you embrace that thought?
Honestly, I haven't really thought about it that much. I've been really serious about training. Honestly, falling in love with the sport again. That, like, I'm at a point where if this does not go well, I don't know. I'm actually happy with training again. So I'm like, I think I will actually just continue fighting one way or another and just work my way back here. But honestly, I just want to win so much that I've kind of forgotten the contract. Plus, I think I'm cute enough to get another contract.
We'll talk about the matchup itself. Do you break down your opponent much? Have you spent a lot of time doing that, or is it more just focusing on you?
I don't know. I just don't like watching my opponents. I'll watch them once or twice. And I have seen both of his two recent fights live because, like, I like watching LFA. Especially the heavyweights, so I'm just like, and it was a heavyweight title, so I was like, oh shit, let me watch it. I thought it was a fun fight. Then I tend to watch the Contender Series because it's, that's where I got my shot at, so that's how I show my support, is constantly watching it. And, I saw him earn his contract, and so I rewatched them recently, and not recently, but like 3-4 weeks ago, once. And I don't know. I don't want to dwell in my head like, oh my God, he does this. Oh my God, he does that. Oh my God, he killed that man. Because, if I watch some of my fights, I'm very crucial about myself. It's like, dude, you killed him in 40 seconds. That's besides the point. So I'm very flip-floppity on watching it. I know some people do. I'm not that person.
Last thing for me, I guess, given all that's going on, what's the definition of success and failure here? Like, is it has to be a victory, or like knowing that you're kind of finding love for the sport again, and maybe like can you go out there and come up short, but be like, man, I did everything correctly. I enjoyed the process. Like, I'm back. Can that still be victory for you?
So if I do everything correctly and I still lose, then that just means Waldo was a completely better person than me. And you can't hate on you going out there giving 120% and still coming up short. But what I will find failure is if I give 10%, or like maybe not, like let's say 80%, and I come up short and I come up short by a point or something. That to me is failure. If I go in there, do everything I can, and I fail, fine. I just cannot go over there and just question myself, what if? Because if that's the case, then I might as well just leave out the front door fucking right now.
Just a silly one, because you brought up your stash, so I imagine your weekend, the dance card has to be pretty full. And was it Maverick that inspired it, or 70s porn that inspired them?
All right, so Ron Jeremy for the win. No, because right now I'm missing my liter of cola and my maple syrup. I was like, this is Farva. I was like, someone needs to give me a coffee cup and a bar of soap in there, and I'll scream, oh, I pranked you, I got you, I got you. Oh, I'm going to get beat by my girl. She's going to be like, why the fuck did you go to media day with that fucking mustache? And I worked hard on like getting the sides, because normally it's a lot thicker than this. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
She's
Like,
not a fan, huh?
no, she hates the mustache. But I also like to make fun of myself. So hence why we have a mustache. No.
Will we see this stash on fight night?
So I don't know. Like, it's very conflicting, because a piece of me is like, yeah, let's just do it to fuck with people. Other piece of me is like, I really want to do something stupid for weigh-ins or something cool. Like, I'm thinking maybe come into weigh-ins, crow makeup. I'm fine with that. I mean, it's possible to just walk in there with Michael Myers' fucking mask and just stand there and look at him with a knife. Just creepy. I don't know. It's Halloween, spooky season.
Maybe leave it up to a vote on your Instagram or something.
You know what? That was maybe the smartest thing anyone said about this. Everyone's like, oh, keep it. It's cute. I look at some of these guys. I'm like, you guys are fucked up. This is why men hate each other, because we lie to each other. We all know this is ugly, but this is funny as shit.